Hey, how's everybody doing? This is JJ with Deluxe Vehicle Detailing and Paint Correction here in beautiful Seminole, Florida. I just took you around in the previous video and showed you after removing the paint transfer what I've got left. And what I kind of want to do right now is to show you, try and get this light on as best I can. I'm on the shady side of my driveway right now, as I am getting ready to do the best I can with these scratches. As you can see, the paint is removed here where it caught the door. This was a hit and run and ran right along the rim of the wheel well. It kind of ends here, and then there's nothing more further along here. You can see right there, the paint is gone. Hope you can see that okay. Trying to give you the best I can along there. That's really nasty right there. So what this video is really about is going to be a discussion on scratches. Every scratch is different. This car, actually I didn't really think that's from something else. That's way up front here because it goes all the way back here. So when you have scratches, you have to determine how much aggression you're going to need. As I go back here, this is dented in some. These are some pretty deep scratches. Goes right off the edge, right there. I think you'll be able to see that okay. He's going to take this door apart from the inside and try and pop that dent out. I wish him much luck with that. I do not do dent removal. This scratch right here, I told him right away. This one, can't do anything with. Your fingernail literally falls in. That's the little test. If you can catch your fingernail, probably not. Now up above here, look at these. Nice and light, right? You can't even feel anything. But it's not transfer, it's a scratch, and that's like an impact scratch. There are deep scratches from tree branches. This might be a deep scratch here from a tree branch from another time. Try and get a few different angles so that you can kind of get a look-see on that. Hope it comes out okay. You know, there's a bunch of scratches along the top here where he's just loaded and unloaded things and caught part of the truck. There's scratches all here that have nothing to do with Grandma's mailbox that this guy caught part of, but there are some scratches along the way. So I've shot a couple videos today, one being the Metabo new German polisher, rotary polisher that just got delivered yesterday. Then this guy knocked at my door and said, "I've seen you working on cars. Do you know anything about polishing scratches?" And I said, "Sure." So in this discussion, oh, and of course, nice timing that my Metabo rotary polisher was delivered yesterday. I put a spare D-ring on it, and I've got a nice big 7-inch wool pad there, and I am going to put this to some work. I'm going to have some holograms left over. These are kind of buffer trails after you use wool, and you have to go over with a dual action polisher. This is a 21 millimeter Surehold Pro, and I've got a white Lake Country. I believe this is the CCS pad, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So when you have scratches on a car, here's what you want to do. You want to be least aggressive first. You want to, as I showed in the previous video, use a cleaner like Citral 266 that will remove the paint transfer. You've already washed the surface very well, then you remove the paint transfer, then you get everything nice and clean, and then you can come in and start addressing your various scratches. Now, if it's scratches like this, there are going to be a bunch of different types, and not one tool or one method is going to be the best for addressing them. For deep scratches, you're going to be needing to be aggressive. For lighter scratches, you want to not go so aggressive on those and start out lighter, right? Makes sense? So microfiber or a microfiber applicator pad, or a very soft sponge type pad. Here's a foam pad, I should say foam, not sponge. They make various different types of foam pads. So you could do this by hand. Some of the applicators for microfiber have a nice little handle you could use. And you start out with something like a cleaning wax. This is Meguiar's Ultra Polishing Wax. It's a one-step solution. You might start there, and over the very light scratches, see if you can just remove them by hand. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Maybe you want to step up to a light polish. This, for instance, is Sonax Perfect Finish. Great product, love this. Now that's a polish, right? This is a cleaner wax, this is a polish, this is a compound. This happens to be Barney's Impressive Paint Leveling Compound. Love this stuff. Have only used it twice in very small applications, but really, really nice product. There's a lot of different compounds out there. You might go to, your Walmart or your big box auto store and buy something like this Turtle Wax Scratch, Repair, and Renew. I do have a complete video on this using different methods and a rotary polisher and different pads, so you can check that out to get some actual use, and that would work for any of these. This video right here, I'm just having kind of a discussion about addressing different scratches and what you can try so that you're trying the least aggressive to the most aggressive. Now this 3M rubbing compound, very, very aggressive. Even on a soft microfiber towel, you're going to probably haze up your paint because it's kind of like, think of it like liquid sandpaper, right? It's very aggressive. It has a lot of grit and bite to it. Now you could use a terry cloth towel such as this. This has even more bite than the microfiber. So you can kind of adjust. You might start with microfiber. Maybe you're getting some of it off, but you would think it could go faster. You can step up from a cleaner wax to maybe a terry cloth with a polish of some type. And that might get you through it. If you wanted to step up even more aggressive, well, I guess a little more aggressive would be a medium foam. They make these in a lot of different colors, and the colors dictate how aggressive the foam is. Here is the melamine foam, and this is like a magic eraser. I bought 100 of these on eBay for $6. It's very easy to do. So you might combine a cleaner wax with an aggressive method such as a magic eraser, which is much like 5,000 grit sandpaper when you're wet sanding, which we're not really going to get into today, but that would be the most aggressive method. But I do want to warn you, you will haze up and scratch and remove some clear coat. Now you have to kind of remove clear coat to understand how you're removing a scratch, because the scratch goes down into your paint and you've got reflections bouncing around inside that scratch. Imagine that it's a big V. I should probably have my little dry erase board out here, but I'm not going to get into, real technique of that type of scratch. What I want to get in on this video is use the least aggressive first, move up. If you're not happy with it, if the scratch is still there and you think you can go a little more aggressive, you might have a dual action polisher such as this 21 millimeter Sure-Hold polisher with the foam, a medium soft pad, right? This one's kind of lighter to medium. This one is actually more aggressive. You can see that it's very, very solid, right? Doing kind of a terrible job of explaining that, but bear with me. So here's kind of the most aggressive, and this is on the rotary polisher. You really kind of want to have some experience with rotary polishing and wool pads before you dive into a project like this, and you want to get yourself a junk panel. And hi, puppy.
How you doing?
Good. You want to get yourself a junk panel from the junkyard and go ahead and do some practicing on this. And then the most aggressive, as I mentioned before, would be actual wet sanding with maybe 1500 grit to start, which would be the most aggressive. And then you kind of work your way down and refine the scratches, going down to 3000 or maybe as fine as 5000 or even 8000 grit sandpaper that you have in a liquid for lubrication and cleaning purposes, and you can do that. But again, you want to be experienced before you do something like that. Get yourself a junkyard panel, practice. Okay, so that pretty much is the tone of my topic today. I have got a lot of different kinds of scratches going on with this truck. I've got a lot of different kinds of scratches going on with this. This was a hit and run from a car. It had transfer from the bumper of the car that slid along the side, dented and scratched this. This was a mailbox that he clipped, didn't realize he was rubbing up against it. Huge amount of white transfer. I think the mailbox was probably wooden on the post and caught it in various places, and therefore he's got everything from deep scratches to a lot of transfer and everything in between. Okay, so I hope that helps some of you. Please leave me any kind of comments below that you have any questions. I can go over things further. In my videos particularly, and I watch other people's videos, if you look in the comments section that I make underneath the video, I do go into quite a bit of detail about all this as well. So if there's something that you didn't quite get or something, you might read, especially with mine, I try and put quite a bit of detail into my comments on the video from my perspective. So anyway, I thank all of you for being with me on this. It's just a discussion about how to address scratches and then different methods of aggression that you can go for, and hopefully remove your scratches and make them look, if maybe not perfect, at least better. Know that after you do these processes, you're going to have to put on some sealant or a wax or something like that, because you will have removed any kind of protection that's on your car after doing these steps. Okay, so thanks for being with me again. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, push that bell button. You'll get notifications for further videos, and I thank each and every one of you and enjoy making your vehicles beautiful. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.